Jumbo Mumbo Familia Angu. This is Eli-Ben-Eli, Babu Eli-Ben-Eli to be precise. And I wanted to take an opportunity to make a video to talk about Marwa's new wife, quote unquote, or his betrothed. Unless Kenya has a common law marriage law, if you become engaged, that doesn't make a woman your wife, it makes her your betrothed. But I just want to give Marwa a warning. But before I give him a warning, let me give him a commendation. Marwa did something very, very wise, and that is that instead of putting himself and the people in his compound in danger by bringing 3 horses into his compound, he actually brought 2 mules. Mules are fairly gentle animals. Mules are well behaved. If provoked, they will kill you just like a horse. But they're fairly gentle. On the other hand, the male horse, oh my God, I'm afraid for Marwa. But anyway, Rose Cabrera is, there are characters in American films that are called Decepticons. What are Decepticons? Decepticons are creatures that are able to transform from one form to the other. Why am I saying that Rose Cabrera is a Decepticon? You see, Spanish women or Latina women, Spanish means that they come from Spain. We're not talking about a Spaniard. She's a Latina. She comes from Latin America. But Latina women come in a fashion that I don't think a lot of African men are familiar with. Okay? There is the pre-commitment woman. The woman who is kind, who is gentle, who is very, very nice to be around, and oh my gosh, my God, why have you blessed me with such a way? There's that woman, okay? And then there's a second and a third woman. There's the woman that comes, no, maybe even a fourth. There's the woman that comes after you have had experiences with her, intimate experiences with her, and are like, oh, I think I love you, which is the face that Marwa has been. Marwa has been in. There's a saying that they have in America. She has his nose wide open. Okay, there's that face, and that woman becomes a passionate lover. Oh, it's a lot of fun to be around when she smiles. She dresses sexy. She is very sexy. And then there comes the woman who is engaged to you and feels that she is already your wife. And that woman, I don't know if in Africa you have this saying, but Marwa has caught a cat by the tail, caught a tiger by the tail. A long time ago, I heard a professor who was a Maasai, a history professor, explain how Maasais can kill a lion with their bare hand. And the way that a Maasai kills a lion with his bare hand is he sneaks up to the lion as the lion is asleep, grabs him by the tail, pulls the tail back as far as he can, and as much as a lion wants to, when his tail is completely stretched out, he cannot turn. And so the lion keeps circling, trying to find a way of turning on the person who has his tail. But when the lion gets tired enough and collapses out of exhaustion, then the Maasai jumps on him and strangles him with his bare hand. Is this something that's commonly done? I don't know. It's just something that a professor told us about. Now, Marwa is in the position that of that Maasai who catches a lion by the tail. Marwa is trying to keep in control of this woman, something tells me that he's not going to succeed in keeping control of this woman. You know, I know that in Africa, in certain parts of Africa, things are a little different than they are in Latin America or even in America. If a husband feels angry with his wife, he might put hands on her and discipline her or whatever. You don't wanna do that to a Latin woman. Okay? Naturally, there are exceptions. There are a lot of women that will take abuse and everything. What a Latin woman will do is she will put something in your coffee, okay? Or she will wait till you are asleep and approach you with a very heavy stick and beat you about the head until you die. I'm telling Marwa, you know, but I was talking about the same woman becoming 3 different types of women, or 4 different types of women. Once that woman thinks that she is the woman of the house, you know, the pleasant little sweetie who goes around scantily dressed and is so seductive, she gives way to a woman who's thinking in terms of this house may end up being a place where I raise my children. And she's going to assert herself. Okay, and if Marwa thinks that he can escape her asserting herself by beating her or whatever, you have a tiger by the tail. You have a lion by the tail. And you are in a lot of trouble. You know. And then finally there comes a woman who may have your children. Now, a lot of people are saying that Marwa fires blanks. That Marwa is incapable of actually conceiving children. I don't know whether this is true or not. But I will say this. You know, I'm not a fool, and I don't think any of you should be fools either. If you've noticed something, the eyes of those men that are around Rocio are looking at her like if she is a big piece of meat in the middle of a bunch of hungry lions. I promise you that if Marwa is incapable of getting that girl pregnant, that woman probably is going to end up being a mother to somebody's children. She'll say that it's Marwa, and, you know, it's like, the last that I heard, they do not do frequent DNA tests in Nyabohanse, so if she says this is your baby, he's going to believe her. But once that woman is pregnant and once that woman starts dropping babies by whoever, Marwa or somebody else, and she's claiming that Marwa is the father, what's going to happen at that compound is very, very simple. Okay, namely, Marwa is going to... Please look at the videos of Chef Matico and his Spanish wife, and you have an idea of what's in store for Marwa. When Chef Matico made the mistake of bringing that woman to Nyabohanse, she publicly humiliated him. Every time that he would try to put his arm around her, she would push his hand off and say, "Your hands are cold. Don't touch me. Leave me alone." And, you know, guess what? Chef Matico went ahead and listened to her. These are not women that are afraid of anybody. When Chef Matico decided to prank her in Spain and told her that he wanted to return to Africa, she told him, "Go." I don't care what you do, go. And then he said, "Well, I'm taking the children with him." And I don't think that man understood that he was putting his life on the line. She told him, "No, you're not. No, listen, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need to stop talking this way." That man came very, very close to getting hurt. Okay. I think that that's a position that Marwa is in. By the way, let me say something about the horses. Once again, let me tell you, I grew up around horses. Even as an adult, I've been around horses. There is a difference between a mule and a horse. Now, I think that Alex has to have a God that loves him, because the fact that 2 of those 3 creatures happen to be mules, probably means that Alex is going to live. And I'll tell you why. Mules are, have you ever heard the expression as stubborn as a mule? Mules are very stubborn creatures, but they're not overly aggressive. Mules are incapable of bearing progenies. They cannot have, they're sterile basically. Now, for some reason, that means that they're not very, very aggressive. They claim that the black horse is a stallion. If he is a stallion, that is a devil on four hooves, especially when he's in the mood to procreate. I would not mess around. I would be very careful how I treat those animals. Again, all this business of allowing them to free range, errant nonsense and stupidity. Those animals need to be acclimated to dealing with people, being touched by people, being ridden by people. Otherwise, they will kick somebody's head off. They will kick somebody's head open, or they will stomp somebody to death, or that horse will stomp somebody to death. I don't say this kind of thing lightly. I happen to be a big-time horse lover. And I tell people, please look at the videos of the horses in England that are part of the house guard that guard the King of England. There are hours and hours of those videos. Those are some of the best treated horses in the world, best fed. They have access to the best veterinarians in Britain. Those horses, if they hear too much noise, if too many people that they don't like are coming up to them and touching them, they can go wild. There are videos of them going wild. Okay? Again, these are horses that are being kept by some of the best horse tenders in the world. The grooms of the royal stables are excellent at their work. The house guards that ride them, the house cavalry, excellent at handling horses. Even in that kind of environment, surrounded by those kind of people, those horses go wild. Think of what's going to happen when that horse decides that it wants a mare to breed and is in that state of mind and is very, very aggressive. I wouldn't want to be around there. I wouldn't want to mess around with it. Okay, I think that some of the times it is stupid to get animals, especially animals that you cannot really care for. Those animals require good quality hay, oats, apples, carrots, all kinds of care. Their hooves are incredibly delicate. If their hooves are not well tended, they grow very long. They become infected. They become pussy. The animal can become lame. And I'm going to tell you something that's very sad. If an animal a horse becomes lame badly enough, there's only one way to treat it. You see all of those expensive race horses around the world? If they are severely injured, what happens is that the veterinarian will come with a gun, hold it to the horse's head, and I will not tell you what the rest of what happens. Okay? So, to me, to buy 3 horses when you are incapable of adequately caring for them, it borders on being criminal. Now, there is that shed where they used to cook for the people during the party, the Gran Fiesta Medellin. That basically is a tin shack without any real purpose. They can, if they modified it, they could keep those horses in there, put in something to feed them water, and that could be turned into a shelter for those horses. Otherwise, those horses are going to do a lot of unnecessary suffering, and I wanted to comment on that because I love horses, and I hate to see them fall into the hands of people who really don't care for them or who don't love them and who are not prepared to treat them kindly, and but I also wanted to say something about Fellow the Boy. Please watch the videos of Fellow the Boy, and just about all of his videos he shows his compound. and he has built a chicken coop. And my gosh, fellow the boy is a consummate builder. That chicken coop was inexpensively built. It was built with offcuts, the outside of lumber that normally there's no use for. It is so incredibly well built. Fellow the boy is excellent at what he does. Please compare that to that embarrassing, wretched pile of mud that Marwa keeps all of his children and animals in. I'm telling you, if people want to say all kinds of things about fellow the boy, but I will tell you this. Fellow the boy knows how to build. And he knows how to build well, and he knows how to build fast. You know, Marwa could learn an awful lot from him. My beloved people, if you have not liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe to my channel. Help my channel to keep on growing. And I just want to issue a little warning. I have just about had it. A.M. Carroll and on trending. My hat is off to the two of you. Listen, I have just about had enough of people coming on here saying nasty things to me, and I pretend that it doesn't offend me. Well, it does offend me. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm older than most of you. In my culture, if you disrespect somebody who's older than you, you are cursed. Okay? Why do you think so many people in Nyabohanset who have had run-ins with me are coming up with malaria and other kinds of illnesses and are suffering? They're suffering because they disrespected an elder. I'm not a witch. I'm not a sorcerer. I'm not none of those things. I'm a servant of God. And if you disrespect me and if you say nasty things to me, your battle is not with Babu Eli. Your battle is with God, and you will be cursed and you will suffer. Okay? Never approach an older man and talk to him like if he's nothing. Okay? Some of you are nothing. What have you done in your time on earth? Okay? Beware. I'm giving you a warning. I'm not going to argue with anybody. If you come on my channel and you disrespect me, I will put you at the feet of the Most High God. And you will suffer. Trust me, you will suffer. If you have watched this far, Asante Asana. And again, please like and subscribe to my channel. Kwaeri.